Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Halos in the Infield pregame show with James. Pleasant Friday afternoon to you, wherever you may be. Welcome again to the pregame show as the Angels will take on the A's. The first game of the three-game series with Oakland, the last series of the season, thank God. Just the way the season has gone, it just felt like eventually it would end. Eventually. But hopefully I'll go tomorrow. I'll see what happens, but we'll see what happens. If I did go, make sure that you and I, make sure you go to 714 Tickets for all your ticket needs. NBA, NFL, college football, NBA coming up, NHL, of course, with the Ducks right across the street from 714 Tickets. Make sure you put in that code HITI for 10% off, and then also you'll get 5% off on your purchases going forward. So thank you for the sponsorship, all year long from 714 Tickets, and then also from Noble Ale Works. Check out them, of course, at 1621 Sinclair Street, Suite B, Anaheim, California, 928 or 06. 92806. Mention Halos in the Infield for drink specials and then free parking. And make sure you get one of these tonight and throughout the weekend. Buy one, get one free pint specials from bartenders there. I should be there tomorrow sometime in the afternoon at Noble Ale Works. Hold it right. And then go to 714 Tickets for my tickets. So I'm all in. All right. Make sure you follow Halos in the Infield at all the social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. And then watch the Todd Fox postgame show. Good to see him on on Wednesday. Maybe he'll be there today or tonight, I should say. We'll see. But it was good to see him. I'm going to definitely check that out later today. Let's see. Check out also the flagship podcast. Pretty sure they'll make one, and then we'll have a discussion maybe coming out later this week about the whole season. I'll let you figure it out yourselves. But make sure you check out the podcast and all the podcast mediums, Apple, Google, Spotify, Podbean, wherever you find your podcasts. Check all that out. Yes, indeed. So the last series, let's start with the Angels. They lost 2 out of 3 to Texas at the Big A, and then Oakland coming in lost 2 out of 3 in Minnesota, I want to say it was. No, it was in Oakland. I'm sorry. No, it was in Minnesota. I'm sorry. Yeah. So they lost 2 out of 3. They did win yesterday, the finale of that series against Minnesota. So the A's coming off the same series results as the Angels. And this year, the A's against the Angels are 5-5. So 3 more games, and we will have a winner of this series for the season. So the Angels A's at 5. Remember, this series started with the season opener on the 30th of March. The Angels lost 2-1 up in Oakland. And then throughout that series, the Angels did take 2 out of 3. And then again, there was a four-game series, and the Angels took 3 out of 4 in April. And that was at the first game. It was 11-10. It was wild. Suarez had a horrible start. And then the last time these two met up, at in Oakland, and the A's won 3. Yeah, they swept the series there. So maybe some revenge if the Angels won it tonight and throughout the weekend. We'll see. No really news going on with transactions or whatnot. I mentioned that Moniak is back. But the good question of the day by Fernando saying, who is your 2023 Angels least valuable player? I think we all know who it is. But maybe someone's going to throw a curveball and say someone else. But I think we know who he is. It's a number, right? Hopefully that'll be in the post game somehow. We'll see if that happens. this, but I want to know what everybody thinks. I think I know, though, what everybody is going to say on that. Let's get to starting pitchers. So for the Oakland Athletics, it will be Ken Waldachik. He is a lefty, 6'4", 220, age 25. He was drafted 2019 in the 5th round, 165th overall pick. He was drafted by the New York Yankees. Remember, he's traded over, I believe, in 2021 or 22. St. Mary's College came out of there. Looking at his stats, not real good. 93 miles per hour on the fastball, 81 on the slider, 84 on the changeup, and then 75 miles per hour on the curveball. Fastball is middle, high. Sweeper, he's tried 20% of the time. It's kind of in the zone there. Changeup is outside near the left hitter's box. Curveball as well, way out of the zone. So I imagine he has a lot of walks this year. So looking at his numbers here, he's given up 13 home runs via the forcing fastball. He has 57 strikeouts on the sweeper, and it's odd that someone has success with the sweeper this year. A lot of pitchers have tried the sweeper, but it just never really worked out for them. And we know what it has done to Shohei Ohtani. It possibly messed up his elbow even more. So let's get to Waldachuk's record. He's 4-8 this season, 5.29 ERA, 5.29 ERA. He's going to make his 35th appearance tonight, his 22nd start. He's pitched 136 innings. He does have one save, 142 hits given up, 88 runs given up, 80 were earned, 23 home runs and 68 RBIs. Again, 129 strikeouts, his whip at 1.54. So he's really all over the place, as Ken Waldachik. Let's see his his starts against the Angels back on April 2nd in Oakland. He got the loss. And then later on, he faced the Angels back on the 24th of April and got no decision. So officially, let's see. Yeah, he's 1-1 officially in 2 starts against the Angels this season is Ken Waldachik. So that's the book on him. Again, the lefty out of St. Mary's College. I hope that's college. Chase Silseth, it's good to see him back. The right-hander for the Angels starting tonight. 6 foot, 217, 23 years of age. He was drafted in 21, brought up in 21 against the A's. He made his first start ever. Round 11, number 321 overall. He went to the University of Arizona, so he was drafted by the Angels out of there. Fastball at 95, 82 on the slider, 87 on the changeup, 90 on the cutter, 79 on the curve. It seemed like he definitely earned his roster spot and his spot in the rotation. Unfortunately, something terrible happened to him back in the start against the Mets in Queens on the 26th of August, where he was hit by a throw by Shanuel, I believe, from first base. He was caught in the crossfire, literally. And that was his last start against anyone. He did start on the 26th of April against the A's. He got a no decision, but he only went 2 innings there. On the 26th of April, and then he hasn't faced the A's this year, so officially no record against Oakland, but he has faced them in 2 innings. So we'll see if he has a little advantage here. So good to see Silseth back. He's done some fairly good things this year. He really has. I can't wait to see how his future progresses. Looking at his record, he is officially 4-1 with a 4.10 ERA. 15 games appeared in. This will be his 16th and his 8th start. 41 and 1/3 innings pitched, 39 hits given up, 25 runs, 22 earned, 9 home runs, 23 walks, and a whip at 1.28 for Chase Silseth. And then looking at his pitches, again, I did mention those, but fastball's down the middle, slider is kind of tells out it's a good strikeout pitch. Split finger goes below the zone, but that's how you can get some batters. Sinker runs up high, the cutter into lefties, and then he's used the curveball 17 times with mixed results there. So, yeah, let's see how his pitches fared. He's given up 4 home runs with the forcing fastball. He has struck out 22 batters on the split finger. So that's his go-to pitch. And I want to see Silseth really do well with that split finger. So check that out tonight for Chase Silseth, as he will be the starter for your Angels tonight. So let's get to the starting lineups of today's game, and then we'll go through the pitching match. Well, let's go through the pitching matchups, I guess, for the rest of this series as we play out the season here. Again, you have Waldichuk and Silseth tonight. Tomorrow, Boyle will go for the A's. There will be probably a spot starter or a opener for the Angels tomorrow. And then at 12:07 at noon, again, the same thing for the Angels, and then Sears will go for Oakland. Just weird how that goes, I guess. But that's when you lose a lot of starters like Anderson and then Sandoval. You got to somehow get replacements in there, and it's very tough to do when you don't have anybody. So it's funny how that goes. So that's the matchups for the rest of the season, the rest of the season. All right, let's get to the lineups here for the Oakland Athletics, and maybe for the last time being called the Oakland Athletics in a major league game. We'll see what happens. I think they have a lease to play one more year at the Coliseum, or the city won't let them, basically. We'll see what happens. I know I have someone who works for the A's as an usher, and he tells me all these things about it, and it's just been a problem for so many years. Bad ballpark, bad team, whatever the case is going on. Anywho, for the Oakland Athletics, their starting lineup will go as follows. Ryan Noda will be leading off for the A's. He's the first baseman. Batting second is a rookie, Zach Geloff. He is the second baseman. Batting third is the all-star for the A's this year, Brent Rooker. He's a designated hitter. Batting fourth is J.J. B-Day, he is the left fielder. Batting fifth is Adomis Diaz, the third baseman. Batting sixth is Lawrence Butler, the center fielder. Batting seventh, and you got to keep this guy off of the bases, Esteury Ruiz, he is the right fielder. Batting eighth is Nick Allen, hitting a little better as of late, the shortstop. And then batting ninth is Tyler Soderstrom. So looking at the numbers here, Rooker definitely just shining among others, but Noda has been really good. And then, again, Ruiz has 65 stolen bases. Remember, Acuna Jr. had a 70. He's the first to 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases all time. So really good note for him. The A's against Silseth in the lineup. Diaz is 0 for 1. Let's see. Rooker, let's see. I think he has a walk against him. Yeah, and that's about it. Everybody else has not faced him. So maybe Silseth will have a nice evening against the A's batters. Let's get to the Angels lineup. So leading off for the Angels, and he's back from he took a ball on the weekend off of his leg, I want to say, or foot. Thank you for Dan Rios for mentioning that. Nolan Shanuel will start at first base tonight, leading off for the Angels. Batting second will be Zach Neto, the shortstop. Batting third will be Brandon Drury, the designated hitter. Batting fourth will be Logan Alhapi, the catcher. Batting fifth will be Randall Grichuk, the left fielder. And batting sixth will be Joe Odell, the right fielder. And then making his return is Mickey Moniak in center field. So it's good to see him. Really good to see him. I want to see him come back and kind of finish off the season well. You know, I wasn't really sure if he was going to come back, but I know he's had some issues with his back, among other injuries that he had. So it's really good to see Mickey Moniak. Batting eighth will be Michael Stefanik, the third baseman. And batting ninth will be David Fletcher, the second baseman. So the Angels against Waldichuk. Drury's hitting 200. Fletcher 333. Neto 0 for 2. Ohapi hitting 333. And that's really it. So it's a lot of people getting to know each other in this series, in this game, and in this series as we go along. The A's, of course, last place in the AL West at 49-110. I had them at 61 wins, and I was wrong. Also, I was wrong with the fourth place Angels, 71-88 the record is, and I had them at exactly 500. Whatever. This game, of course, on Bally Sports West for the Angels and for the A's, NBC Sports California. I think that's called up in the Bay. All right, so that's the numbers and all that and everything you need to know about tonight's game. Let's go to some scores around the league because there's wild cards to be had, and some teams will not be able to get it. Some will. Of course, you got the Angels and the A's at 638. Right now in the bottom of the fourth, the Pirates lead the Marlins 1-0. The Marlins need every game. At the the bottom of the fourth, no score in Baltimore, the Red Sox and Orioles. The Orioles clinched their division a couple of days ago. It was great to see that they got their 100th win. And it was great to see because Brandon Hyde, he went through a team with the Orioles that lost 100 games or more, and then now has won 100 games. It's really great to see. Bottom of the third in Detroit. It's 7-2 Cleveland. That's Miguel Cabrera's last series. So check that out if you can. At the end of the second inning, the Rays and Jays up in Toronto. Toronto leads 1-0. That's a really big series there. Mainly for the Jays. I think the Rays are locked into that first wildcard spot. The Jays are trying to stay in that second one. Top of the second, the Braves and Nationals playing in Georgia, 1-0 the Braves. In the south side of Chicago, no score, top of the first, 1 out. The Padres and White Sox. So somehow San Diego still has a chance. They have to have everybody basically lose, and San Diego sweeps the White Sox. Coming up at 5:10, you get the Twins and Rockies in Colorado. Also, Yankees at the Royals. Cubs at the Brewers. Now, that's huge there because the Cubs and the Marlins are going for that last wildcard spot. And the Reds are, but they need a lot of help. But it's all down to the Cubs and Marlins. And the Cubs, with their loss last night, they got swept in Georgia. And now they're a half game out of that wildcard spot, the last one in National League. So the Cubs and Brewers already wrapped up their division. So they'll be third in the standings. They won't get the 2 first round buys, but I'm wondering if they're going to try to spoil the Cubs there or just rest their starters. We'll see what happens with that series as all the Cubs fans will come up from Chicago to Milwaukee. 5:15, you get the Reds and Cardinals. Again, the Reds need a lot of help. They need to take care of their business and get some help from the teams above them to basically lose. At 6:40, the Astros and Diamondbacks. Now, this is playing huge because the Astros are there. They're trying to get in that wild card spot. The Diamondbacks are trying to keep that second wild card spot in the NL. And also Rangers and Mariners. They played a great game last night. J.P. Crawford had the walk-off double. I believe it was a walk-off 2-run double to win it. Again, the Ranger bullpen, and Chapman started the inning awfully in the bottom of the ninth. So check out for that series. We'll go through the standings after this. The Giants and the Dodgers really playing for nothing. The big news, of course, Gabe Kapler. I want to say Gabe Kaplan. But Gabe Kapler was fired today from the Giants. It seems like he lost that clubhouse. It really did seem like he did. There was a moment in the Padres series earlier this week where the pitcher that he was coming to get hid the baseball somewhere, just hid it somewhere, and he kind of played along with it. It just seemed like that was really unprofessional, and in a town where they want winning baseball like San Francisco, Um, you just don't have that happen to you. It was just, and then he's had countless confrontations with his pitchers too throughout the years that he was with the Giants. So I think all that came to a head with the general manager struggling this year as well, trying to bring in first-class talent in the offseason. For them to have a horrible September, that really didn't help things. So, yeah, the Giants are moving things around, so to speak. So, Giants and Dodgers later at 7:15 up in the Bay. One game has been postponed anyway. The Phillies and the Mets and Queens, both teams don't need that game. But that's what it is. All right, so let's have the wild card watch here. Again, Baltimore, Texas, Minnesota has the divisions there, not officially for Texas, though. Texas is 2 games ahead of Houston, 3 games ahead of Seattle. That's the AL West standings there. For the wild card, though, Tampa Bay leads that first wildcard spot by 10 games. Toronto has a 1-game lead for the second spot in the wildcard over Houston, and then Seattle is a 1-game back. That's why the Houston series and the Seattle series against Texas are all huge for that AL West, of course. In the National League, again, Atlanta, the Dodgers, and Milwaukee all three have the divisions. Atlanta and the Dodgers will have the byes. In the American League, of course, it will be the Orioles and Texas possibly having their bye, having the first round byes. Philadelphia has the first wildcard spot at 6.5 ahead of the second place Diamondbacks. They're a game and a half ahead of Miami for the second spot. And Miami is a half game ahead of Chicago and 1.5 back of Cincinnati, and the Padres 3.5, just for fun. All right, so that's all there is to it. The Angels and A's for the last time in 2023. The series going on up in Anaheim at the Big A. Tonight's the coffee mug giveaway, and it looks like a good item there, I hope. I hope the handles don't break off. Then tomorrow we'll see if I'm there with some folks. The team photo, Kabuta hat, and then it's fan appreciation night at 6:07. And then on Sunday, every game will be at noon because of the wild card. You never know. It might be some fun. Not with the Angel game, but with those wild card teams like I mentioned. So this is the last time to check out the Angels. I know there's no Ohtani or Trout, but if you really like baseball, I guess, this is it. This is it. So I guess don't miss out if you want to go watch some professional baseball. All right, we'll get out of here with some comments. Eric calling me Halo Joe, or he says, hey, James, my bad. I'll see you later, maybe on the post-game show with Todd Fox. Again, check out Noble L Works, 714 tickets. Put in the code HITI. And do it after the season, too, for duck tickets, whatever you could think of. MLB, NBA, concert and theater tickets, NHL. Again, they're right across the street from the pond in Anaheim. I still call it that. So check out that. See you next time on the Halos in the Infield pregame show. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tomorrow, but Sunday we'll have the finale, and then maybe the last postgame show of the year. I got to get in touch with some folks here at HITI. We'll see what happens. Everybody take care. Go Halos for the last time in 2023. The last series, I should say. See you Sunday. Later.